Hey guys, it's Cream, aka Miss Cream of the Crop, and we are back on the throne on the Elite Radio Show on 216 to Beat Radio. I know what you're saying. Like, what? You are back on the throne? Yes, yes, I am. And I have a brand new personality that I would like to introduce to all of you. She is now a part of 216 The Beat. She represents Akron, Ohio. If you all don't know where Akron is, then I will remind you there's this kid who always says a kid from Akron, but he's not really a kid. He's an adult. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, just log off, regret that you don't know who I'm talking about, and then come back because we need you to we need you to get all of this. But I'm talking about King James. That's where Deanna's from. So I want to introduce you guys to Deanna. She's bringing Deanna TV, and Deanna TV has all of the tea. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about a few things that are in the news, and a lot of these topics you guys have already seen on social media, but that's okay because we're bringing our own version of the latest topics. So I'm going to quit talking right now. I just wanted to open this up by letting you guys know that you'll be on the throne with me pretty soon. We're just going to bring this segment for right now because I want to introduce you to Deanna because there's been way too much going on, and we cannot wait to get back on the throne to talk about these topics. So we had to do this now. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Deanna. She's going to come on and tell you all about Deanna TV and who she is, and then we'll get into these topics. Deanna, welcome on the throne. Welcome to 216 to Beat. Welcome to the team. How are you?
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. As you guys told you, I am Deanna KTV, and I am from Akron, Ohio, home of LeBron James. Um, and we're going to be dishing the tea with Deanna KTV. So I'm Deanna. You'll get to know me more. Like I said, I'm from Akron, Ohio, and I got all the tea for you guys. So let's just get into it.
Yes. And just so you guys know, some of the tea is going to be piping hot. Some of it might be a little mediocre. Some might be cold. Tea is tea is tea. Because it's hot outside, and when it's hot, because we're going to be talking about some things down south. When it's hot down south, they make sweet tea. So whether it's hot, medium, or cold, you can still drink tea. That's the beauty of tea. You can drink it no
Okay.
matter what the temperature is.
Period.
So, Deanna, what is the first topic
So
of the
the first
day?
the first topic I have for you guys, some people's favorite crazy TV personality. Some people don't like them, but their names are always buzzing and trending in the news, especially on Sunday. So if you guys watch Zeus, you are familiar with Blueface and Krishan Rock and their toxicity. They have aired their love scene on Crazy in Love 1, and now we're on Crazy in Love Season 2. Um, this past Sunday, they did an episode where Krishan and her family were like getting into it, and they were supposed to be coming and support her, but she got into it like almost physical altercation with her sister to the point where she actually swung on her sister while being pregnant. So we know when you're pregnant, you can have like a lot of stress and different things like that. Well, they've been stressing her out her whole freaking pregnancy, and unfortunately, we get to watch that unfold all over TV. So during last week's episode, you see Krishan and her family getting into it. You see the aftermath of it. Blueface and his family was supposed to meet them and kind of like, join the families because they are having a baby. And they just kind of, need to get to know each other and get around each other. But things kind of went south when Krishan's family just couldn't get it together, and Blueface did not show up. Like he didn't show up for them. They were supposed to have like this family dinner, and Blue was nowhere near to be found. And he told his mom like, "Yeah, you should leave because I ain't coming." So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so they were arguing and fighting. But the juicy part was when they went to take a lie detector test.
Okay.
During the lie detector test, Blue went first, and they asked borderline-based questions, of course. And basically, Rock asked him, was he happy that they were starting a family? Even though he said no, the lie test determined that he was actually telling a lie. When it asked, does he see himself without Krishan, he said yes, and that was a lie as well. Was he in love with Rock? Even though he goes on social media all the time and tell people he's not in love with her, that was a lie as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so Blue's true colors end up showing during this lie detector test, but what really pissed Blue off and set him to the next level, and we'll see that on this week's show coming up. He actually found out that Rock had allegedly cheated on him. Now, during the lie detector test, she was moving, she was real fidgety, and they did say that could, alter
The
the
results.
results of the
Mm-hmm.
test. But Blue's like, nah, you've been a cheater, pumpkin eater. And he really was upset when when he asked if she has been intimate with anyone else while pregnant with his baby. And that came out to be true. So in the next episode, you'll see them getting into it. And for a man that doesn't care about a woman or the baby, he was pissed clean off, unfortunately. So we'll see that all unravel next week, and we'll see what happens. She's having the baby. We all see that. We follow her on social media. She's very much pregnant, and she even said in during the show that she would not be having this baby if she didn't think that it was 100% his. She did admit to fans that she has had 3 or 4 previous abortions, but she felt like this time she had to have the baby because God would not, if she aborted that baby, God would not bless her with the baby in the future when she was actually ready. So I'm going to stay tuned, and I'm going to keep you guys updated on what's going on with Crazy in Love Season 2. And
Yeah,
we'll
we're
see
gonna let
where Juicy.
you keep everyone up to date on that. You, okay? You and all the other places that like to talk about these two toxic young individuals.
They
You go
are.
to DNKTV's page because that's not going to be on Cream's page.
I
Okay,
gotcha. I gotcha. I'll give you all the tea. For my Zeus fans, another Zeus favorite is Miss Jocelyn. She is on season 4 of her cabaret, and it's getting spicy. She let a few girls from the past season come back. Miss Natural came back. Yummy came back. Wet Wet came back. Lucky was there for a short period of time, but she did get dismissed last episode. So we'll see if she's going to continue to be there or was that it for her. She was upset with Lucky because after the last season, she did link up with Big Lex, whom, Jocelyn just went to jail for assault charges and battery charges for her fighting after the Mayweather fight after her performance. So, luckily, Lucky did join Big Legs and was on her show. So Jocelyn kind of sees her as a op at this point. Like,
Mm.
you went over there thinking that you was about to win and do something over there, and now you're coming back with a bag at because clearly was nothing popping over there. It wasn't popping. The bag wasn't long enough. So on this episode, Jocelyn finished picking up her girls for the final stay at her home. She did announce to the ladies, though, that there's not enough rooms for all of them. So they will be getting eliminated this following week. We don't know what the challenge will be to get them eliminated at, but we're going to be able to watch and tune in and see. Miss Natural did get her lick back. If you guys recall from the last season, her and Yummy were the last two standing. And when Miss Natural bent down to fix her shoe, Yummy picked up her heel and bashed this woman in the head with it and started attacking her. Security
What?
broke it up. Yes, security broke it up, and Miss Natural has been waiting for years to get this lady back. It's up and it was stuck with her. So she got picked at the auditions, and when she got called over, Yummy was just a few feet away, and she got her. Miss Natural feels like she didn't get her enough, but Jocelyn let her know, hey, you got your lick back. Let's, continue and move forward. You guys have 3 days to be in the house with one another without fighting, and then we'll see if you guys will make it to the next round.
That's funny
Now,
that Joseline is the one telling someone they got their lick back, as if she's not someone that continues to get her lick back every time she sees people
yeah,
that she
she,
wants to fight. That's so hilarious to me. That's
yeah, she like, okay, now you fought her, you got her back, let it go. Miss Natural was like, no, it's on site every time. I don't care. Like, I don't care if we done doing the challenge. I'm fighting you every day in the house. Like, I'm gonna make your stay miserable. So we'll see if Miss Yummy sticks it out. Yummy unfortunately did get into another altercation once she got into the house. Because again, you have women from the old season coming to the new season, and these women have been arguing and fighting and bicker via social media. So they have yet to see each other up until now. So now that they have seen each other, they are taking opportunities to kind of fight, even though Jocelyn is allegedly saying that she does not want it to be like WWE wrestling the whole season, how they were last time, doing a lot of fighting. She actually wants them, to learn the dances and do the choreography and put on a great show.
Mhm.
I do want to announce that Jocelyn did say she is sober now. She said she's been
Congratulations,
sober.
Joseline.
She finally admitted that she does drugs, hard drugs. She admitted that she does powder and she also pops pills. She did say
See that, but thank you, because the first the first step is admitting, but we were
yeah,
aware.
so she admitted that she had a problem and that she was using it to like cope and just kind of using it sometimes only when she partied and different things like that. But she did do one of her first performances sober. I'm sober, and she is ready to, show the world a new her and who she's become. She says she's a different person at this point now. So we'll see, and I'll keep you guys updated on that as well because it'll be
Yes.
coming on this Sunday, and I'll be watching.
All right. Well, congratulations to the Puerto Rican princess. I am
Yes.
here for women empowerment, and I want to encourage her on her journey to being sober again. But again, all things Zeus, Deanna KTV, because all the ladies outside of Jocelyn, I had no idea who they were.
Honey, they're a bunch of exotic dancers. Some of them are very beautiful women, and they are trying to make their mark in the industry. They're tired of the little bag. They want the big bags now. So they trying to go to the winning team.
Well, get your big bags, ladies. Don't embarrass yourself, because everything that you do on TV and on these networks, it follows you for the rest of your life.
Yes, they will pull up clips from 2007 on your
Uh, Listen, because
listen.
Punkin can never live down spit in the New York space. They're
That
gonna
is
play that clip forever and a day. That's gonna go
every day.
down, continue to go down in history. So,
Literally, the internet is a crazy place. Back in the day, you could do stuff and get away with it. Nobody would know unless you were there. Now, everybody's pulling their phone out. So, speaking of pulling their phones out, 50 Cent was recently just at the Blossom.
yeah.
He did a performance. He brought Busta Rhymes with him and Jeremiah. And the show was sold out, and it was amazing. And people are saying it's amazing after like 20 plus years, 50 Cent is still able to go and sell out arenas doing his old music. He played all his classic hits. Everybody was turned up, and it even ranked that night. And the Blossom only has like so much shelter
Yeah,
that
for
the
people that
people,
don't know, the Blossom is an outdoor venue.
yes,
Some VIP seats are under like a little awning, but for the most part, Blossom is an outdoor venue, and
you're in
you
the
are
grass.
outside. You're in the grass.
Yeah.
It's a true. It's a concert venue, but it's with festival vibes.
Yes, yes. So they were outside in the rain, honey. They did not leave. People left drenched and poured down, and they were
Yeah.
still there. They loved it. From my reviews that I received, they said it was an amazing concert, and they really weren't mad that they got wet. They do
Yeah.
wish they could add more. And I guess just the walk was bad. Walking back, of
Yeah.
course. Now you're drenched and you're in the rain. So
Absolutely. And Busta Rhymes, they said Busta Rhymes was in like full Busta mode. Like I'm
yes,
upset you missed it, but they said Busta gave an amazing show. And if you've never seen Busta Rhymes perform live, like this performance was one of those performances that you really appreciated Busta Rhymes and who he is. But I think one of the reasons that the concert is sold out is because, and I'm happy about this, um, people are really starting to get back to their appreciation for hip hop and lyricism. I think people gave new music a chance, and I think people are starting to get a little tired. They're starting to get a little bored. Because Nas just dropped a new album. For people that don't know, 50 Cent tour was called the Final Tour. Now I don't know if this means that he's never gonna go on tour again after this one, but the name of this one was the Final Tour. Um, so I don't know if that's what that means. Also, Nas dropped an album about 2 or 3 weeks ago. His latest album. All I have to say is thank you, Nas, and thank you to seriously, because it's like there's only so much party music and twerk music that you can only stand so much of that, and there's only so much um music that you can consume where the song is 1 minute and 20 seconds, 2 minutes. Like you really want to get back to music.
Yeah.
I've always been a supporter of all artists and their genres and their creativity, but there's nothing like a Nas album. There's nothing like a Jay-Z verse. There's nothing like a 50 Cent concert where you're just like, this feels good.
Like they're really rapping, like they talking about something. Like you ever listen to one of these new artist songs? Like one day I was listening, like I was on the radio, listening to the radio, and the song, and I'm just like, what is this? I had to turn it off. I thought I was losing my brain cells.
Yeah, and it's so like, and it's nothing against the artists, because I know the industry has a lot to do with the type of music that they're putting out, but it's like I said, you look at some of the track lists and you're like, is this an intro or is this a song? Because the song is 1 minute and 26 seconds, or this song's only two minutes long.
Yeah.
And you listen to it, it's like one verse, one hook, but you can't even tell the difference between the hook and the verse, because they just repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
And don't let it be a dance song. There.
Yeah. You're like, when are you gonna get to the song? When are you gonna actually get to the verses? And then the song's over. And you're just like, all right.
You literally gotta play the song back just to kind of catch the vibe, because it's like song used to be 4 or 5 minutes. Now it's like 2 minutes. That's it. And it's like, what's that? Like I want to vibe. I want to feel it.
Yeah.
We barely get 2 verses.
Barely. Even with the remix, it's not even 2 verses sometimes.
Like you got 4 people on a song. Nobody gets 2 verses. Everybody just get one, huh?
And it's not even like entire bars. It's like you get 4, you get 4, you get 4. That's all you get. And then we're gonna put this hook in there.
And we're gonna add some little catchiness, and then they do like a lot of melodies and but you know, support we support all artists, but we love real music.
It's just after you listen to everything and then you go back and go to a 50 Cent concert, I feel like that's the reason why, other than Beyonce being a true entertainer, I think that's one of the reasons that people are finding her concert to be refreshing, because she's singing. She's entertaining. She's giving you a full show. And we've gotten so far away from it.
Yeah, we have.
Like, everything is just so microwave.
Put it in the oven real quick. Put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
So I think that a lot of these artists that have been out for a while and artists that have full artistry, people are starting to be like, you know what, I really appreciate this a lot more than I did before.
Yeah. And speaking of good artists and bringing back great music, one of my favorites, because I tend to have an old soul. I love older music. I feel like 90s R&B is like top one. Like that's a genre that's never gonna die. But just speaking of good artists and singing, Charlie Wilson, he is actually coming to the Akron Civic Theater. Tickets have one on sale. They started off only at $86, so that's not bad at all, actually. The concert will be October 15th, and it'll be in Akron, downtown Akron. they're really redoing Akron and kind of make it more of an artsy musical space. And I'm here for it. We need more concerts and we need more activities and stuff and different things. So I think Charlie Wilson is like a good one because that's like I've been seeing older people my age, like even some of the young people that are hip to it who probably mom listened to Charlie growing up, like everybody wants to go see Uncle Charlie. I'm personally gonna try to slide him my grandma's number, you know.
But you know what? When we're speaking about music, shout out to the hip hop artists that introduced Uncle Charlie to a totally different audience. And this is what we're talking about, like people just really utilizing music and the power of music. Because I think a lot of people who weren't aware of who he was before became hip to him because of him doing music with a lot of younger hip hop artists.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs with him is with the song with Ti. So that's like it's like a new school or old school type of vibe. The one he made for Snoop Dogg and his wife. My Name is Charlie. That's a classic. So I'm ready to go sing my heart out. Actually, like I'm trying to be there singing, losing my voice. I'm gonna come back like y'all. I can't talk that much.
You ready to lose your voice and slide him Granny's number?
Yes, yes. I need a granddad.
And it might as well be Uncle Charlie.
Okay, listen, Granny, if you don't work that magic.
Grandma got to put on the little Granny Moo Moo, the sexy one.
Okay, listen, she got a drawer full of them. I might have to go help her pick them out, make sure the hair is together, honey. Yes.
Yes.
I think you would like her.
Yes. Grandmas wear negligees. They don't wear lingerie. They wear negligees.
Okay, that moo used to get them rent and bills paid, so I got me a moo or two, baby. Yes.
Those moo never stopped the grandmas from having babies.
Okay, they be having 10 and 12. Like, okay, Granny. New
Without a
day.
BBL. Without a BBL. Those moo had them things singing back there.
Okay. They definitely did.
Yes, absolutely. So we're talking about artists, new artists, and all things that are going on right now in the industry with artists, the changeovers. But there's a topic that has been coming up for the past, 2 years? I swear this seems like the longest trial of the century.
Pretty much three. We're in 2023. It happened in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been going on
Wow.
for a while.
Do you want to tell the people? I think they know what we're talking about.
I think they know. So it was announced today. Actually, breaking news not too long ago. Tory Lanez was actually sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Now, do you guys do you think he did it? Do you think he deserves that, or is it like
This is the most controversial. I hate to say
I
this.
was gonna use that word.
I feel like in the black community, the first one was O.J. Simpson.
Oh, that's classic.
That's a classic controversial trial that had different people on the fence.
Yeah.
And there are people to this day that still believe that O.J. did it, and there's people to this day that feel like he didn't do it.
And the courts proved he didn't. So
exactly. I feel like this is an example of another one of those types of trials. Because I feel like it's even on both sides. And it's because I read somewhere where they didn't have the bullet fragments in the evidence locker anymore. They didn't produce these fragments in the trial.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So it's like little holes and pieces of the case. So I did see recently they were trying to say that he had alcohol abuse issues, and actually was trying to get him into a program and like a rehabilitation center versus actually going to prison. And also deportation was also on the line because Tory is actually originally from Canada.
Right.
So he's originally from Canada, so deportation was on the table as well. But the 10 years will be, I believe, served here in the American jail. Yeah.
The other reason why this is such a touchy topic is because it's like if you're not excited, then people are like, "Oh, you're not for black women."
Yeah.
Um,
You don't protect black women.
yes. And then there are men that are saying that they're pissed about Megan being a snitch and she put another black man behind bars.
And it's just like that. It's like that division in our community. But like right is right and wrong is wrong because you never want to defend domestic violence.
No.
You never want to defend that at all. But with so many hoes and like other people being in the vicinity of the gun and different things that may or may not been exposed during the trial, it's hard to kind of be like, whose side am I on? Of course we want justice for Megan because nobody deserves to feel unsafe or at harm, especially with a man you were, you know, intimate with, which it came out that she lied about that as well. So people were also questioning, what else are you lying about? Because she said her and Tory never had relations, and it came out that you guys actually did. And then Kelsey was involved, which she didn't get a lot of interrogation. No, she didn't get kind of fingerprinted and different things like that. It was just like a lot of things that left unturned in the case. But I will say, in the beginning, they did offer Tory Lanez a lesser plea deal. And it wasn't until he started to go like on the internet and harass her, because that was also something in the in the reports and different things like that. He was trying to get a lesser sentence, but Megan was like, she does not feel he's remorseful at all. And the judge even stated, like, you were harassing her via social media. We all seen it and different things like that. So it's like, I don't know, did Tory dig himself in a deeper hole when you could have just took like the 2 to 5 that they were offering and be out in a few more years and dust yourself off and try again? Or did you and your mouth in social media once again, get you deeper into a situation?
Just to reiterate what you said, I do not condone domestic violence, whether it be a man hitting a woman. I mean, a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting. Yeah, I don't condone domestic violence, whether it be a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man. I don't condone that. And this is just a sad situation because I just feel like there are so many holes in this case. There are so many people involved that are no longer involved. And it's like, where did they go? How did they get out of being involved in this? But I also feel like sometimes it's like one of those things where you've done so many things that you were obedient to the consequences of your actions in the past. And because you felt like you got away with all these things in the past, you thought that you were untouchable. Because what if Tory really didn't do this, but you got online and, for lack of a better word, he shot himself in the foot? Because you really could have just got online. You could have just sat at home during the pandemic and enjoyed the pandemic like all the other entertainers did. You should have just enjoyed your time off. But you decided to harass this young woman online, and you dug yourself into a deeper hole, and now you're suffering for the consequences of the actions that you didn't even have to take.
Yeah. And once again, the internet.
So many holes in this case. that it probably could have been dismissed, or they probably would have wanted to do further investigating, but you couldn't stay off the internet harassing her. So they're like, case closed, you whatever.
Yeah, you're doing too much, and
And you're not even from here.
and that goes back to the internet and people keeping receipts. It's like they screenshot first, honey. Listen, I write articles. Screenshot first, ask questions later. Like you screenshot the information, and then we go and do the research. Research, before of course we put it out there. But you need that screenshot, that evidence, just in case a person tries to take it down.
Yeah, and again, like I said, whatever, for lack of better words, he shot himself in the foot and he dug this grave for himself. He dug this hole for himself because you could have just sat there and enjoyed your time off during the pandemic like all the other artists who were off because there wasn't anything open.
Yeah.
You could have just enjoyed your money and your time. You could have went back home and sat there and ate your food, but you didn't. And now look at what you're facing.
Yeah, you was on with the Twitter fingers.
Exactly.
Posting and retweeting.
And because you thought it was sweet.
Yeah. And it's like, my thing is also like, she's also backed by like a major label. I feel like that has a lot to do with a lot. Like, people in higher places, they make things happen, and you gotta learn how to just shut up sometimes.
Exactly. I didn't even want to go there with that. That's why I just kept saying, like, you dug yourself into this hole, sir. You get what I'm saying? Like, you dug yourself into this hole, because I promise you, boo boo. If he had just sat there and really minded his business, even if he felt like there's nothing for me to be remorseful for because I didn't do anything, sit there and just be quiet.
Right.
Act like exactly. Act like an innocent individual, but you got online and had guilty behavior, and thus the judge slammed that gavel and gave you 10 years.
Yeah. Because, I mean, back, like, even now, the whole case was all, like, you can just go on Twitter and the lawyers are there. Everybody else is there reporting all this stuff. They come in with the facts, and it's just like, look, even if they didn't have the facts, at this point, harassment, like.
You was going to go down for harassment at least.
At least. You could have probably got that probation that you were looking for. But, yeah.
You wanted Twitter fingers and Twitter thumbs and twiddle. Now you're about to have.
Look, Tory is trending now via Twitter for them Twitter fingers.
You got what you wanted, sir. Sometimes karma comes faster. Look, you manifested it, and the universe brought it to you.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to be careful what you manifest. And this is what you manifested, sir, with your Twitter fingers. You could have kept those Twitter fingers in your pockets, and you'd be out here getting fatter pockets.
Yeah.
A bigger bag. As Joseline's cabaret girls are thinking. You're not even thinking on the cabaret girl level. You
didn't even want the bag. You chased the bag away.
And that's exactly what he did. He chased that bag all the way away, and now you're being deported.
Yeah, and got 10 years. That's a lot. I don't even know if he's going to be able to make a comeback after that career. And like, what do you do from being like a top artist or a successful artist, I should say, to like, what do you do? Like, do you just go get like a job at like McDonald's or something, or like do you try to get back in the game? Like, I don't think nobody's going to mess with him after 10 years. The sound, the vibe.
I think that that's going to give him a lot of time to really think about how to use his fingers on social media and and really practice what it means to be remorseful.
Yeah.
So I hope he makes use of his time while he's in there. Maybe he can write some songs. He can come out and be a songwriter, work behind the scenes.
That may work.
And that way he doesn't even have to worry about covering up his head.
Yeah.
No one's gonna see you. You'll just be behind the scenes writing music for other people. I don't know. I don't know. Look, he's gonna have to talk to his team. Look. I can't give him free advice over here. My, you know,
Yeah.
it costs. It costs to have meetings with me. So he has to pay. He has to pay the invoice, and then we can sit down and talk about
Then
what
we
he
can
could
talk about it,
possibly do when
Tory.
he comes home. Exactly.
Speaking of the
Yes.
internet and how things go viral, Montgomery, Alabama.
The
Did
Gump.
you see?
The Gump. For everybody out there that's listening right now, if you know, you know. Montgomery is called the Gump, and only people who know. The Gump came out to rumble. Do you hear me?
Look, they wasn't ducking no smoke, okay?
No. No. The one, I don't even want to say his name, the country artist telling people, try that in a small town. In reverse. Because we know who you were talking to. And
Right.
then your people that you incited tried it in a small town. And they voted around and found out.
Man, who said black people can't swim?
Look, Aquaman, that's what they're calling him, Aquaman. Aquaman proved that wrong.
Okay.
Black people can't unite. The Gump proved them wrong.
Okay, that hat went in the air like a Batman signal, okay? Hey.
Listen, we're still searching for his hat is up there with Bobby Shmurda's hat. Because Bobby Shmurda's hat never came down either. Listen, but right now what I love is the fact that black people don't know how to be serious. All the memes. I love us for real. Do you hear me?
I do. I will say that.
I love us for real. Not only did we unite on that doc, but we're uniting with all of the effery online with all these memes that we're producing.
The memes. Oh, they made a song, honey.
What?
Yes, there's a whole song going out. It's actually on iTunes and SoundCloud.
I have to find that and play it on the station. Yes.
I'm gonna send it to you because I actually started following the artist who made that song.
Oh my gosh.
He made a song about the whole incident. It's going viral at this point. People are making videos. I saw one guy have a bonnet on, honey. He tied the chair to the bonnet and was swinging his neck. I said, "Oh,
Deanna, no,
do it too much." I said, "Y'all don't take nothing serious."
Nothing serious. We don't take anything serious. I mean, some of my favorite memes were like this one guy had his chair, a white chair, strapped to his belt like it was a gun in a holster. That meme was hilarious. I saw this other TikTok where this guy was in his backyard, like punching, like he was like, and he was throwing his hat up, and then he would get it off the ground, put it back on his head, punch some more, and he said he was practicing how to do the black fight signal. What?
They said, okay, when you throw your hat in the air, that means, of course, going back to artist, Master P song, hooty hoo, look.
Yes.
They said, that's the signal. No.
Yes. I saw someone put the guys that were coming down, the guys that had their shirts off, they were running down the dock. They had them at the top, and then the army from Wakanda Forever, when they were jumping over the wall to attack the blue people, they had them lined up with them. It was like,
oh my.
Some people were calling the Avengers assembling, but a lot of people were like, no, we got to take this back to Wakanda. They brought Wakanda and justice together. Yes, absolutely. So if you've been under a rock somewhere, literally under a rock, and you don't know what we're talking about, there was a black security guard who was on duty. And if you're in Cleveland, we have the Nautica Queen, we had the Good Times, so they have a boat in Montgomery. I was going to say Atlanta, in Montgomery that's similar to that. So basically, a boat you can take around the river, and it needed to dock, and there was a boat owned by private citizens. They were white, and we're saying a race for a reason because you guys might be listening to this or watching this, but you need to know this. Security guard's black. The private citizens on the boat were white. He politely went over and asked them to move because the boat needed to dock. The river boat needed to dock.
The boat he worked for. This is the boat that was the boat spot. That was the
exactly
boat, regular spot.
If you guys don't follow Shane, he has Politics and Profanity. He has a podcast on my podcast network. He actually posted the footage that I hadn't seen before. It was someone from the actual boat that needed to dock was recording. So I saw from the beginning where he was talking to the guys and asking them to move, and that video is actually pretty long. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. So he literally was talking to them for a while, and they wouldn't move. So when he walks away, that's when they decided to assault him, like the thugs that they are. Criminals. And then the black community was like, no. Not today. You know what they said? I know you didn't try that in a small town.
I know you did not try to fight my cousin.
Because if you don't know, all black people are each other's cousins. If you don't know. If you're tuned in and you're not a part of our delegation, the delegation of black people, then you wouldn't know that. But we're all cousins. Hey, cousin. Hey, cuz. Hey, cuz. And then sometimes that's when you have to, yes.
One fight, we all fight.
Exactly. And that's the reason why black people, when you are somewhere in unfamiliar cities and you see another black person, you give them the head nod, you give them a smile, you give them the eye, because basically what you're saying is that we're family.
I got you. You got me, I got you.
Yes. You're basically saying when I see your hat tossed up in the air,
that's the bad
that means we need to assemble. But we know that Tory Lanez, we talked about Tory Lanez being sentenced, and that was breaking news. There's also some other breaking news. Some of the thugs, the assailants from that day, have also been sentenced. I think 3 of them.
They were.
Yes, 3. Yes. So 3. We're gonna say color because it matters. Because I really feel like they're trying their best not to make this a hate crime or racially motivated. But you know for a fact, if the security guard looked exactly like the guys on the boat, they would have never tried it.
They would have walked away.
They would have walked away.
They would have moved their boat.
They would have. 3 of the white men face assault charges for a Montgomery boat brawl. So, but they're also asking for the folding chairman. They want the folding chairman too.
I thought he was arrested in the video, though. I
thought he was
detained. Too. He was actually being detained because after he hit that woman in the head that was in the red, the officer detained him, and I thought he was arrested. Maybe they didn't, because I know the guy who was actually swimming was a part of the crew.
Someone else mentioned that he was arrested, though. And because I was like, hopefully the chairman got away, but they were like, no, he got arrested. Go back and watch the video. He was detained.
Yeah, he was detained by an officer in that video because during him trying to get him detained, another woman tried to come and attack the officer, and he had to kind of like push her, like, move, like, I got him now. You go that way. And she was trying to even attack the officer. So we'll see if she even gets charged with assault of an officer at that point, because
we're going to petition if she doesn't. Now, some history. So, listen, when we always talk about our ancestors having our back and the ancestors came through, when it came to this brawl, I really feel like the ancestors really did come through, because it's a coincidence that the boat was called Harriet. We all know about Harriet Tubman and the significance in our history that she has had. Also, that area, that river, that this incident happened on was an area where black people were bought and sold.
Yes.
Black people were auctioned, and right up the street from there is the warehouse where they kept a lot of the black people. It was also there's another building that's of significance in black um, history of enslavement in that area. So when we talk about the ancestors stepping in,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that the ancestors didn't step in this day
Yeah.
and say, listen, you guys get out there and you unite,
Look,
because we were
unite.
coming from everywhere.
They were, and even the ladies came through because the women, like the white women, they were jumping and hitting the black men, and they were like, the black men were trying like not to hit them back. Then you just see black women come out the woodworks like, and like, boop, boop, boop.
Exactly.
Not my cousin.
Right. Facts. Excuse me, boo boo. Not today. Another fun fact, which I don't say that those are fun facts, but the fun fact for me was the boat being called Harriet. The other fun fact is folding chairs were invented by a black man, and by the name of Nathaniel Alexander. So what are the
What a
what are the odds
coincidence, huh? On
that
the
the
river
star
where
of the
our
show?
ancestors were sold, shipped away, probably killed. Some of them probably didn't even make the route back to that deck. To a black inventor inventing the chair that was used. To a young man being a golden Olympic swimmer when at one point in time we wasn't even scared to get in the water, let alone learn how to swim in it. And he jumped in right off the boat. Okay, he jumped off the boat with no hesitation and swam to that man's rescue. So
Yes. He was only 16 years old.
he was. He said he was
16
just going. He was
he is.
taught.
We're saying was. He's still here. He
Yeah,
is
he's 16. Yeah,
16 years old. Yes. Yeah. So shout out to the Gump. Shout out to the
yeah.
Gump for
Everybody.
rumbling in the
They have a
Montgomery
whole
jungle.
page on Facebook now, and like people from my city, they are so look. They've been memeing it up. They have been acting. Look, they got all the memes. They like, hey, from Akron, Ohio, we support you.
Yes.
They like Juneteenth next year is gonna be lit.
I was gonna say a lot of people are saying that we should change Juneteenth to August 5th. It even has its own hashtag. The hashtag is 8523. Like,
And it's crazy. Like I guess that same not that same day, but they was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell my kids this was the Boston Tea Party.
again, us just being silly as we want to be, as
Yes.
silly as we want to be. But listen, I love it though because I feel like that's one of the ways that Black people are able to um, get through all of the atrocities that we have faced for well over 400 plus years. And
Yeah.
that's with humor. Like, I think with us, we get over things by coming together over food. We come together with partying and dancing, and we also come together with comedy and
Yes.
laughter.
We
And
laugh from keep we laugh to keep from crying, literally.
we do,
So
we do, we do. And I'm very proud of us and our and being united. I'm also proud of how we united and celebrated online.
yeah.
We don't condone violence. We've said this before,
Yes.
but we
We don't know.
do condone taking up for yourself.
Yes, you have to protect yourself, and I love the fact that we all came together. And just like, these thugs need to get off the street, because who knows what else they would have done, who else they would have assaulted. It was literally no reason for, almost 3 to 5 men to jump on one individual. And he wasn't even, like, really trying to attack them. He's like, like, wait, hold on. You can see in the video,
Yeah.
he's kind of, like, hesitant to even fight or, swing and start a fight. They
Exactly.
started the fight initially.
They
Like,
did.
they started it.
Yes. And he gave him a warning by throwing up the hat. He gave him the
Yeah.
Bobby Shmurda warning. Okay? So like we said, we don't condone violence, but we do support self defense.
Yes.
Because if you look at the video, he tried to walk away several times.
He did. They did
And
hold a press conference today. They are
mhm.
waiting for others to turn themselves in. More arrests will be made, unfortunately, and charges will be brought. I did see a few artists say that if certain people were booked, they would pay their bond and bail and help with
Oh, I
lawyers.
saw a lot of people. There's also some GoFundMe links going around. And I listen, I am very proud of the way that we are standing in solidarity
Yes,
right now. And I hope that this sparks and encourages and empowers us to continue to stand in solidarity and to fight for what we believe in more ways than we have in the past. Because the way that this made us feel in our souls and in our spirits,
yes,
I hope that this really does spark a change in our communities throughout the world, but more importantly, the United States, because racism and discrimination and microaggression, it looks different in different areas.
yes,
Black people are oppressed in many ways around the world. And they're like, like your grandmother says, there's no one sin greater than the other. So because your
yes,
oppression may look different than my oppression doesn't mean that we can't stand in solidarity for one another because we're in different countries. Our oppression, racism, and discrimination here and prejudice here looks different than it does in other countries. But at the same time, we are still being uh, racially profiled. We're still, a
we're still
marginalized
being
group.
judged like they don't care if you're from another country or not. Once you come over here and that skin is brown
You're
and black,
black.
you're black. You could be Jamaican, Hispanic, from anywhere, Canadian. Look, you came to the United States, you are black and you are brown. And once you realize that they see color. And that's another thing I feel like people
That's
always
sad
say,
too. That's very sad because they think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but they think of us as a monolith to the point where you can be a black person that speaks French. You're from France. But when they see you and don't hear you, they automatically just assume you're the N with the hard R at the end and you're all
mm-hmm,
just black, ignorant, and from America. And it's just like, you're showing your ignorance.
yeah. And
You're
it just
showing
goes
your stupidity.
And it just goes to show that it's still alive, it's still well, and we're still unfortunately dealing with it. But I feel like our people now, like not saying back then because our ancestors fought hard. I will never discredit them for
Fault.
anything. Like they went through so much, and I'm so grateful. But it's sad that we're still going through it. But I do, like you said, I feel like we're finding other ways to deal with it. We're coming together, we're uniting, we're supporting one another, and not only that, we're coming together at the polls too as well. Those
Hmm.
numbers are climbing. Black people are learning that we have to be a part of these politicians and these conversations in order to get our word and what we want across, instead of just, oh, it doesn't matter, nothing is going to change. No, we're going to make it change because we're tired of
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. And another way that we are uplifting our community and ourselves, we have we're starting businesses.
Yes.
We are becoming even more educated, especially with the black women. Black women are the highest. We have the highest education and the most degrees, I think, in the United States.
Yes.
And so those are ways in which we are changing our community and making an impact and empowering and uniting ourselves. And I'm very proud of the strides that we're making. Do we have a ways to go? Are there things that we can improve on? Absolutely. But right now, this is about empowering each other. This is about um, patting each other on the back and giving each other props for what we have done, the accomplishments that we've done. Because we do this a lot online anyway. There are so many things that we could say negative towards each other, but
Yeah.
I feel like this is not the time because as Black people we get enough criticism anyway outside of our community than for us to continuously not give each other grace.
Yeah, you getting tore down by 5 other people. I'm not about to come and be the sixth person. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like there's a time and a place. And yes, I mean, there are a lot of us that still need to get on board.
Yes.
But right now, we want to
We're
celebrate.
celebrating ones who are.
Exactly. 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 So, what's next on the list? Let me see.
So we got, like I said, we're coming together on the polls as well. So we had issue one
Yes.
in Ohio that we
Yes.
all recently had to vote on. I don't know if those results came out just yet.
I think it's a little too early to I haven't seen any results. I'm gonna look right now. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only 9:36, and I think that it's a little too early for those results. I'm hoping that we came out to exercise our right to vote. Something that I think that we still need to reiterate to our community is how important these types of elections are. A
Yeah.
lot of times we're like, oh, our vote doesn't count because the electoral college. That has nothing to do with your local elections. It has nothing to do with your state elections. Those are the elections that affect your everyday life.
I would say those are the more important ones, actually, that you actually should be paying attention to. And they kind of try to hit us with a curveball because if you notice, we rarely vote in August. We rarely vote in August. It's usually later on after the
Mm.
summertime. They tried to hit us with a curveball. I think because they wanted to get that majority out before November. So I pray we do come out on top because voting no
Yes.
on issue one would help our community keep that majority vote. When issue 10 came out, we actually won that, which was actually a wonderful thing. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe that they saw like, okay, wait, they're starting to come out to the polls now. There's so many different organizations that are helping people, and not just helping, they're educating them, like, and they're
Mm-hmm.
doing it in a way that we understand. I know an organization down here in Akron, Ohio, called the Freedom Block. They actually
Mm-hmm.
work with issue 10 and issue one, and they actually educate us, but they educate us in a way that we understand. They use the terminology that we can understand, and they do it in settings that's comfortable for us. Over
Mm-hmm.
food, over dancing, over good vibes. All right, y'all, let's talk about this important stuff, and then after we're gonna eat good, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna go strategize. But we gotta get this
Absolutely.
done first, y'all. So
Absolutely. So some of the things that you need to know about issue one, even though the voting polls are closed, they close at 7:30. However, I do want to let our audience know if you are in line at any polling station on an election day, whether it be your local election, whether it be for the president, it doesn't matter. If you were in line before the polls close, you cannot be made to get out of the line.
I
So
didn't
let's
even
say
yeah,
you're
that's
in
that's good
line at
information.
7:20 or 7:29 and the polls close at 7:30. If you were already in line to vote before the polls close, they are legally supposed to allow you to vote because you arrived on time. They
Okay.
cannot turn you away. So there's a lot about voting that people, just little things like that that people don't know.
Yeah.
So that's something that I do want to say. Like, if you pulled up and you're standing in line right now, well, you might not be listening to this, but keep this for the future. If you pull up and it's 7:25, like, oh, we're about to close in 5 minutes. Okay, great. I have 5 minutes to stand in
I'll be
line.
waiting. Yeah.
I have 5 minutes. They can't say, oh, we're about to close. Are you closed? Because about to close means you're still open, and I can still show you my ID and vote. So before I get into things you need to know about issue one, I want to let everyone know also what you need to vote. You can have your state ID or driver's license, your U.S. passport or pass card, your U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs ID, Ohio National Guard ID, U.S. military ID, or an interim ID from the BMV. So if you lost your ID or you don't know, and you can go to the BMV and they usually give you that printout, you can take that to the polls and vote.
And still vote as a regular ID.
Exactly. So some of the things that we need to know about issue one. So on this ballot, there was only one item to vote for, and that was issue one. And a yes vote is a vote to end majority rule. A no vote defends majority rule and the sacred principle of one person, one vote, meaning Deanna KTV votes, Cream votes, Deanna KTV's vote counts, Cream vote counts. No matter how many people voted, they're still going to count my vote. But basically, what this is saying, let me just read. I don't want to give you my interpretation. I'm just going to read off of this. So, issue one is a constitutional amendment to permanently end majority rule in Ohio. Politicians and special interests deliberately wrote issue one to be confusing. If an issue needs 60% to pass, what that really means is that 40% of voters can veto the will of the majority on any issue. So that's just saying that if these people over here vote and their vote, and there's more of them, they'll veto whatever it is. They won't even consider it. So that means a small number of people can overrule the majority of citizens on any issue. Majority rule has been the law in Ohio for more than 100 years. Issue one restricts your freedom and takes away our rights. It permanently shreds our Constitution, ends majority rule in Ohio, and takes away your right to decide what happens here by undermining the sacred principle of one person, one vote. Keeping a simple majority, as it's been for more than 100 years, is just common sense. Issue one was written to trick you. So what that means is the politicians and special interests pushing issue one have admitted that their proposal has errors and mistakes, but they say that doesn't matter. They know that you do not want to give away your rights, so they're trying to trick voters into supporting their radical proposal. This is why it's important for platforms like this to talk about these issues. This is why, while we're laughing at all the memes about the brawl and celebrating, that we still disseminate information like this in a manner in which people can understand and make better decisions when they're voting and make better decisions on what they would like to stand for their community and for themselves. Because these are the elections that affect your neighborhood, your children, you, your auntie, your grandmother, and your future children if you don't already have children. These decisions, because this is affecting an amendment. The amendment is on the Constitution.
Yeah.
I want people to understand, if you don't know what an amendment is and you don't know what the Constitution is, please do your research, do your homework. You are an American citizen. These are things that you should know. There's a whole cartoon from back in the day.
OMG, look, that's how I comprehended it from back in the day. That cartoon, when they broke it down, look, they need to start showing that back in school again.
They should. There's a whole cartoon that talks about how a bill was passed.
Rocks.
Yes, Schoolhouse Rocks.
Yes, Schoolhouse Rocks.
I might post that on the 216 Beat website. But Schoolhouse Rocks breaks all of this down in a very, very easy and understanding way because it's a cartoon. But I don't want to, I'm going to jump off my soapbox because these are things that are very near and dear to my heart. Like, I'm really big on political issues that affect me, that also affect my community. And my community, like I said, with Black people, we call each other cousins. My community is you. You might be in Akron, but you're still my community.
Yeah.
You things that affect me will also affect you. So.
And I just learned anytime they try to change something that's been in place for 100+ years or anything like that, they're usually changing it so it can work in their favor. Because why would they change anything if it's been working for so long? Like, you want to change it because now it's not working in your favor anymore. You need it to go back to how you want it to be. So you're going to go in and you're willing to risk and change an amendment for a random election in August where that's the only thing on the ballot. Like,
exactly. And that right there in itself should tell people how important this random election was. The fact that it was like they held an election for one issue.
One thing. Must be
When
very
have you ever seen? I've never seen this before, where they hold an election for one issue. That should let you know how important this is and how much research you should have done, and that you should have been at the polls.
Yeah, because when November comes, I pray we win. I pray, it doesn't pass, but that just lets us know that there's something coming up that they want the majority rule of, and they don't want us to make it down to those polls. But I will say, in our community, I feel like we're getting a lot better. I'm actually seeing a lot more young people getting to the polls, and they're interested in voting because of the organizations that are around that are, breaking it down and explaining to us. Because, like you said, they use certain terminology when writing laws or writing these things on the ballot to confuse you. But if you already go in there knowing and you have an understanding, you'll go in there and be like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to let their words, misconstrue my way of thinking or my vote. So something's coming. We're going to see. When November comes, we're going to see. And I'm like, look, Cream, look. They try to pull a fast one on us.
Exactly. So, again, I'm encouraging our community to not only have fun, laugh, eat, joke, dance, but also be mindful. Keep your eye out. Like Deanna said, this should let you know that something big is coming in November.
Yeah.
For them to, again, hold an election for one issue, this should let you know something big that we should be slightly afraid of is coming in November. And we need to keep our eyes open. We can laugh and talk and have fun and make memes, but while we're doing that, let's also educate ourselves.
Yes, because education is definitely power. And the more we know, the more we can show up in these rooms and in these areas to fight for what we want. Because at the end of the day, I think, that thing where our vote doesn't matter is it's going out the window because people are now seeing, like, wait, we're standing up. We do matter. What we want does matter. And I think we need to remind the people that they work for us. We can vote them out of office.
Yes.
We can show up to these elections and town hall meetings and disagree.
Absolutely. And I think that we also have to dispel that thought that we have been forced to think that asking your politicians to do their job equals a handout. People are like, I don't need the government to give me a handout. It is your civic right and their civic duty, but it is your right as a citizen to demand them to do their jobs. That's not a handout. That's like going to McDonald's, paying for your meal at window 1. They tell you to drive up to window 2, and you sit there and they never give you your food. And you're like, well, I don't want to ask them for a handout. What?
You pay for it.
You pay for your food back here. When you get to window 2, after a certain amount of time, if they didn't slide that window open, you need to demand them to give you your food.
Yeah.
That's the most simplest analogy that I could give people. When you're paying taxes and you are here as a citizen, you paying taxes is paying into their salary.
Yes.
Thus, you can demand them to do your job, which doesn't equal a handout. When they become a citizen who says that I want to be a servant, I'm now a servant of the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they sign up for. They sign up to be a servant of the citizens.
Excuse me.
Just make them do their jobs. But he sounded cute though. But yes, this has been an amazing first episode of Deanna KTV, spilling the tea on the throne with me, Miss Cream of the Crop, aka Cream, on the Elite Radio Show on 216 The Beat Radio. But before we go, because we had to preach a little bit, we do have a few upbeat things that we want to talk about. I know you have an event coming up.
Yes,
Someone announced that they were having a baby. Not Deanna.
Not me.
Not Deanna.
My fact.
Not Deanna. Not me. Okay? And not Cream. So we'll put that out there too. It's not Deanna KTV and it's not Miss Cream of the Crop, okay? But it is Sierra and Russell.
Baby number 4.
Aww. Yes. Congratulations goes out to Sierra and Russell. Listen, everyone wanted to bash her for her see-through dress, but that see-through dress.
Look, they went home and made a baby.
Exactly. Russell said, I'm going to show them how disrespectful that see-through dress of that body can be.
I think Sierra brings Russell balance. Like, it's like, he's a professional and all that good stuff on camera, good face, never have any problems in the sports. But then he has this beautiful, probably freaky wife at home that he probably loves.
Yes. You know what, though? I think they are the perfect example of opposites attract. I think they bring each other balance. Because, Sierra got that Atlanta ratchetness in her, and she needed him. She needed him. Before. Exactly. And I think Russ, like you said, brings her that quiet solitude, that poised life. And then, Russ, because we don't know what Russ is like behind closed doors, because he could be ratchet too. But on the surface, he seems very calm, cool, collected. Like, I'm very, like, laid back.
Role model.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he needed a Sierra to come in his life and, like, rock his world a little bit. Like, shake it up. Yeah, give a little, what's that little CC move?
Okay, I'm talking about to say, I know she be doing something, honey. Them baby. Sierra, everybody used to want to dance like her, so I know she's over there doing something right.
Because Russ is out there like, he is like, Future, baby Future is my baby. Okay. You might as well be called Russ Jr. He's out there playing catch with her son and making more of his own. Congratulations to their black love. And speaking of Sierra and Chris Brown, ultimate dance. Listen, we've been waiting for this. They just released a video and a song. I think it's Sierra's song featuring Chris Brown. So we had to keep up the congratulations.
She did get backlash from that, though, unfortunately. I think anybody who works with Chris Brown, though, is always going to receive, like, that ounce of hatred. Like, it's like they just keep bringing up this man's past. He could, like, save the world, and they would still be like, we remember what you did.
At the end of the day, he could have Tory Lane's Twitter fingers, and he doesn't. So either you want Chris Brown, you want someone to evolve into this version of Chris Brown, or you want them to get a 10-year bid. Pick.
Right. Pick your poison.
Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, this man, I don't know what else he needs to do. Again, we don't condone violence, but the person that he was in that situation with has forgiven him, moved on with their life.
Have almost 2 beautiful children. One's on the way.
And I don't understand why people are still trying to hold this man down. But we're ending on good notes here. So, again, shout out to Sierra and Russell for making that new baby. Shout out to Sierra and Chris on their song, because really all the people that grew up on Chris Brown and Sierra, this is like, since that performance at the Grammys, people have been waiting for this moment, and they brought that moment. So shout out to them and their collaboration. But you also have your own announcement that doesn't involve babies.
Yes, no babies for me.
I have to keep letting everybody know.
So I will be a special guest at the I Put On for My City Music Festival coming up. It will be at 4962 State Route 43. That is in Kent, Ohio. It will be an outside venue. The event starts at 1:30 p.m. And we have like a ton of artists from Akron, Cleveland, Youngstown, just a little bit of everywhere. And it's presented by Dre Day and Andrew Lloyd. Andrew is from Cleveland, Ohio. And actually, I love Cleveland. Like, I've always get so much love from Cleveland, like Cleveland artists when I come to Cleveland, and just the support. So if anybody would like to come out, myself, I'll be speaking. I'll be telling y'all about me and Cream and our wonderful show together.
Yes.
I'll be telling the people about, how I started and just how I never just gave up. It's been a long time coming, and I am still working to be the best, and God is aligning me with the right people. Thank you, Cream,
You're
to get me to
welcome.
that next level. So I just genuinely appreciate the support. So if you guys are available, make sure you come on out. The event is August 19th. August
Absolutely.
19th, 4962 State Route 43, Kent, Ohio.
Yes, and I'm going to put the flyer on the station's page, and I have someone put the flyer on our website on the blog side. But I also want to mention Dre Day is from Akron. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dre Day is from Akron. Andrew Lloyd,
Yes.
that's what I was trying to say. Andrew is from
Cleveland.
Dre Day is from Akron. Dre Day was actually one of the first people who actually gave me an opportunity to, like, when he was doing Greenhouse Productions, to come and, like, host and to present stuff. I've been a presenter at the Ohio Entertainment Awards for about 3 or 4 years. Well, no, 4 or 5 now. And them two have always shown me love. They always gave me, like, opportunities. So I genuinely just appreciate, I appreciate everybody for just giving me a chance,
Yeah.
It's really
I met Dre Day when he was, like, starting out as an artist.
I was going to say, you met Artist Dre Day, huh? I remember Artist Dre Day.
Yeah.
I remember. He, like, had to switch to the side. But they're doing amazing. The Ohio Entertainment Awards is coming out there the 11th year. So I look forward to doing that as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be invited back. But I ain't going to get my hopes up. But
listen, you got to put it out there and
look, I'm coming
manifest
back.
those
I've been there for 5 years. Y'all can't quit me now.
Exactly. And now you're elevating even more with your platform. Like, listen. They're going to call you back. They might even need to cut you a little check.
Okay, listen.
cut your little check, little medium check. How about that? Not a little one. Cut your medium one, okay?
Well, medium one.
Do a little medium check.
The invoice.
Exactly. But I'm very excited about the future of this connection, and I'm just all about, again, my words are empowering, inspiring, uplifting, and that's something that I love to do with my fellow Black women. I don't have a problem with, like, reaching, I don't want to say back or down, but just reaching to the side and pulling my fellow woman next to me and saying, like, you got this, we can do this. And I saw all the things that you were doing on your platform and on your page from the first time that I met you, and I just watched and I said, I got some things that I can help her out with, and now you're here.
I was super excited. I said she watched me for a few months. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't give up and just, like, not post, not do my content, because it's like that saying, you really never know who is watching. Like, a small conversation at a whole nother event turned into a collaboration. So
yes,
I love it.
I've been doing this so that I can make a way and open the door for other people, and I just feel like, what is your purpose of existing and being if you aren't willing to open the door and bring some other people through that door with you? But thank you so much for this, and for everyone that's tuned in. Again, this is Deanna KTV. Make sure you follow her on Instagram and all of her platforms. She has a website, YouTube page. All her links and everything are listed in the bio on her Instagram page. You guys already know Miss Cream of the Crop. You already know how to find me. If you don't, it's Ms. MS, Cream of the Crop, no ebonics. And this has been episode 1 from 2023 of being on the throne on the Elite Radio Show with Deanna K, TV, spilling her tea, and me. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.